Hi, I'm Melissa, and I've been asked by my children their history. And I have written down a whole lot of their history and I've put it on WordPress.com. And for those of them that would like to read it, that's where they're going to have to read it. But since my children aren't really into reading the written language, it might be better if I leave an oral history for them. So I'd like to begin by reading letters that my mother wrote to her parents back about a year before I was born. So that will give you a setting about the world in which I was going to be coming into. We have kept, over the years, everything in books. And this is the Hockett history from 1970 to 1989. They're all letters that my mother sent to her parents because they didn't live in the same town. And we've always written letters because that's the best way to keep information going, better than just the oral history that's passed down, because many times that can be changed and misunderstood. So we put it in writing so that we know exactly what happened and what went down. So today we're going to begin reading. Dear Mom, Dad, and Jim. That's Mr. and Mrs. Hanson and Jim Hanson, dated May of 1970. Thanks for your card, Mom, as we sure appreciate your faithfulness in keeping us up to date on all the news there. I've got David off to class and Shelley down for a nap and was doing my ironing. I was writing you a letter in my thoughts, so I thought I just might as well write it down. We're all fine and Shelley's very much improved. Shelley is a baby at this time. She's eating good and has a much happier disposition. Her teeth still bother her, but that's to be expected. She slept from 8:30 to 5 this morning, the longest she slept at one time in months. Usually she's awake every 2 to 3 hours at night, I know. And the doctor said she was a bit spoiled from being sick, so he said give her some water when she woke up and then let her alone, even if she cried. He said she had her days and nights mixed up from being sick so much she had toothaches for a long time. And so this would be the only way we could get her back on schedule. So the last few nights have been hard, and she's done a lot of crying, but I really believe it's paying off. We take her back in 3 weeks and hope the fluid is gone from what was left over in her ear. Shelley's learning new words and has become very independent about drinking from her plastic glass by herself. Of course, we just put sips of milk or water in so we don't have a mess to clean up if she doesn't drink it all. Her new words are no-no and clock and car. The no-no comes from hearing Mama say it all the time. Guess I'll have to try another technique when I don't want her to touch or pull on things. Anyway, we sure enjoy her when she's well, and she sure enjoys being well. Did I tell you we bought her a toothbrush? She likes to brush her teeth, so we got her a little brush, and after she eats, she goes to the bathroom and points to the toothbrushes and makes all sorts of noises until she has her brush. We really get a kick out of her and that toothbrush. She's also learned to turn the dial to stations on the radio, but she waits until I'm not looking before she does it. She knows that a no now, and that means a spanking if she plays with it. Slowly but surely, she's learning things she can play with and what things she's to leave alone. Of course, she tries our patience sometimes, but finally realizes we mean what we say. Well, how are your plans coming for your trip to Minnesota? The more I think about it, the more I feel that it may be the best thing if you move back there. I realize that none of you are really happy in Oregon when you don't know how things are on the farm and when you have no money coming from renting it out. So I'd suggest you move back home and take care of things the way they should be cared for. That way, you'll be able to make a home for both David and Jim until they're able to make it on their own. And when that time comes, you can decide whether you want to sell the farm and just have a home in Anchorage big enough for you to take care of, just you two on the farm, or maybe rent the acreage out for someone else to farm. I don't believe any of you will ever be really happy in Oregon, and I know you'll not want to live in a house there for the rest of your lives. It's just not big enough nor built the way you like it. It's not built the way I like it either, but then I don't plan on living there the rest of my life. If you move to Minnesota, I'll live there because it's cheaper than renting someplace else. We can't afford to do any major repairs or building on until David is out of the service. And David says putting another septic tank in would not solve the problem. So we'll just have to wait until the city sewer goes in and we connect to it. If you do want to stay in Oregon until Jim graduates and can find a more suitable place to rent, please feel free to do so. We really want more than anything for all of you to be happy and satisfied, and would not feel hurt or angry or anything else if you wanted to move to a bigger house. Anyway, we're praying that the Lord will give you the courage and the faith to take that step that you feel is necessary, and confident that all the details will be worked out by him. I'm sure you're still faced with problems and difficulties if you move back to the farm, but the important thing is you'll have the peace of mind that you've done as the Lord directed. We know you've found, as we have, that the Lord always works out things to his glory and our good when we let him have control and guide our steps. The two verses in Psalms 3, 5, and 6 have really been precious to David and I since we've been in the Air Force. Our country sure is in a turmoil these days. I'm almost afraid to live near the beach with summer coming on and restless students on the loose, but I'm sure the Lord will take care of us here. We've decided not to move for the simple reason that there's so little of what is available is what we would need. And it is higher in rent than we can afford. We really like our landlord and the little apartment here, so we're confident that we'll be able to meet the rent when it comes up. Well, I've blabbered on for several pages, so I'd better close and finish my ironing. If the sun's still shining when Shelley wakes up, I think I'll take her out for a walk. I'm sure the fresh air will do us both some good. God bless you each now, and may you continue to be guided by him in all your decisions. Much love, Dave, Edie, and Shelley. So that's the world that I'm coming into. I have an older sister, and I have a dad who's in the military, and he's going over to Vietnam very soon. And so that's the world that I will be coming into very shortly. So I'll let you know later what happens.